What's up, you guys? I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here bringing you guys Brian Chen's top 8 UDS Sacramento deck profile. As you guys can see, he played Pendulum Magicians. He was kind enough to send me his list. There's also a live deck profile that he did himself on his channel. I will link it down in the description. Be sure to subscribe. He was also the one that recorded the second place Trickstar list that I profiled earlier. We're just going to go over his deck, and then just he has a couple shout outs, just some explanations and whatnot, so we'll just get into it. Of course, with Pendulum Magicians, he is playing the 3 Astrograph Sorcerer. He is playing one copy of, I don't even know how to pronounce this card. I'm just going to call it X Magician. So he's playing one copy of X Magician. I'm sure someone down in the comments is going to tell me how to pronounce this card. But yeah, I can't pronounce this card. I played one copy of this. This card's actually pretty cool. In his live deck profile, he explained that what's cool is, number 1, it's a beater, and number 2, it can negate light monsters on the field. That's kind of cool. It can negate Candina and, just stuff like that. Just random little interactions like that are pretty cool. 2500 is huge, so another just really cool card. He played the 2 copies of Gate Zero. That, of course, goes with the Dark Worm. 2 copies of Overdragon Magician. The Chronograph package. 3 copies of the Chronograph Sorcerer. He played the Stargazer, one of the Garnets. 3 copies of Dark Worm, self-explanatory. This card is just nuts, like everything it does for the deck. As you guys can see, he's playing a full set of Foolish Burials, basically 4 Foolish Burials, because Dark Worm, starting with Dark Worm, is just such a great way to get your game started. And a lot of players have said when you start with that, it's very hard to lose. Then he's got, of course, 3 copies of Black Fang and the 3 copies of Purple Poison. Purple Poison is just a monster, just breaks boards. And then, of course, the 3 Harmonizing, Best Magician, just, you guys already know, get your pluses. And then, of course, the other Garnet, the Time Gazer. For his hand trap ratios, he decided to play 2 copies of Ash and 3 copies of Ogre. He explained it also in the live deck profile, just picking these ratios. Ogre is obviously better against Pendulum. And Ash, Ash is Ash, like everyone... there's still this debate that Ash isn't good, which is obscene. Like, the card is amazing for a reason, and the card is good against every other deck except Pendulum. There are some cards you can hit with Ash Blossom against the Pendulum matchup too, so it's not the worst thing. Being able to hit Pendulum Call is pretty big, so stuff like that. So that was it. He played 30 monsters. Under his spells, 3 copies of Pot of Desire, self-explanatory, Pot of Greed. The 3 copies of Dragon Shrine to send Dark Worm. Like I said, he's playing a full set of Foolish Burials because it gets your deck started. And then 3 copies of Pendulum Call. This resolves. It's insane. Like this and the Foolish Burial resolving, all that stuff is just, it's just nuts. And of course, like the aforementioned 1 copy of Foolish Burial for 40 cards in the main deck. On his extra deck, he's playing the usual suspects. He's got was it the Starving Venom, the Vortex Dragon. That's it for the fusions. For the Synchros, got, of course, the 1 Ignister, the 1 Omega, and Supreme King Clearwing. Cards are just good. The 1 Absolute for the combo, the 1 Dorito because it negates stuff. 1 copy of Supreme King, was it Dragon Dark Rebellion? This card's pretty cool. He explains about it. Cool things that it did for him in, what do you call it? In his, in like his matches and whatnot. This is a really cool card. Plays, of course, for rank 4s, 1 Tornado and 1 Dweller. Tornado, versatile, and Dweller. Dweller's really good right now because it's really good against True Draco, really good against Lightsworn and any graveyard-based deck. So it's just good utility to have, and having it in the extra deck is just really solid. You don't have to side deck it or anything like that. And he played Evil Storm Nightmare. I actually really like this card. This card's so cool. For those of you who don't know what it does, when your opponent special summons a monster, except during damage step, you detach material, and you change the special summon monsters to face down defense position. So basically, if there's a giant pendulum summon, you can just book everything. That's pretty broken. I like that. Basically like a Book of Eclipse with 1950 defense. I think that's awesome, and they don't draw. So very, very cool. Then on to the links, playing of course 1 copy of Borreload, playing the Zephyr Metaltron, and then just 2 copies of Heavy Metal Foes Electrum to round out the extra deck. Now onto his side deck, he plays 3 copies of Joel and Lockbird. In his live deck profile, he said that he originally was going to have this in the main deck, but then switched the hand trap ratios. This is mostly, you guys already know, for Trickstar and for True Draco, so he didn't play that many of those decks, so that was actually beneficial, but card is still good. You guys already know Joel and Lockbird is always going to be good. Board Wipes plays the 1 Raigeki and the 1 Dark Hole. The one thing he did want to mention when he sent me his deck list was that he played the 2 copies of Wavering Eyes. It was the absolute worst card in his side deck, and that he should have either sided 2 of the Performapal, the Seal Eel, or 2 Winter Cherries. Having the Electromite, obviously being able to Winter Cherries the Electromite is crazy in the mirror match. So that was one mistake he said. He said Wavering Eyes just wasn't good at all. Worst card in his side deck, so he would definitely change that. So these are basically blanks. 3 copies of Evenly Match, self-explanatory. 3 copies of D-Bear, self-explanatory. Skip your opponent's turn, skip the turn, crazy. He sided decided the one, what was it, the Time Pendulum Graph, just solid trap card, you know. You usually can just end games. And then he played Imperial Order as his last card in the side deck, and he had just explained how we're in a format where so many decks are dependent on spell cards that Imperial Order is just an absolute blowout. So yeah, that is it for the main side and extra. Just some things he wants me to shout out is he wants to shout out Just Flip TCG. Again, that's a local in San Jose, California, and Team Royalty. Just really awesome. Like I said, I'm going to link down below his live deck profile so you guys can get more explanations there. I just want to shout him out for sending me his deck list. Be sure to subscribe to his channel as well. Got some really good content. And yeah, I will bring you guys another top 8 deck list from the UDS in Sacramento. I'm going to be covering my boy Ed's Magical Musketeers. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, you know, smash that like button. Let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.